Welcome to the One Star Weakfoot Show, FIFA 21 edition, starring your host, One Star Weakfoot, and our review specialist, One Star Weakfoot. Bow. Good evening to the return of the One Star Weakfoot Show, your one-stop shop for player reviews. I'm going to be your host today, One Star Weakfoot, and it makes me feel stupendous to see you back on the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So, as you guys know, I've been MIA for quite a bit, but I've been keeping an eye on FIFA. I've been watching the team of the season and the lack of SBCs. But throughout the promo, there's been one card that really caught my eye. One card I've been wanting to try, aside from Neymar and Mbappe, of course, and it's going to be none other than team of the season, Bamba. Alright guys, so let's take a look at this card. We look at this Bamba card. The real main reason that he's attractive, the real main reason I want to try him was the fact that he does have the 5-star skill moves. That's a massive upgrade, because if you've ever used any Bamba on this game, I pretty much used almost every single version that he's had. I've noticed that he feels generic. He feels kind of worse than the stats would suggest, and I think a lot of it is to do with the fact there's nothing that really makes him special. He doesn't really have a special body type. He never had the 5-star skills. Now with the 5-star skill move upgrade and the increased stats as well, I'm thinking he might feel nice this time around. He's 5'9". He has high work rates. He's right-footed with a 5-star, 4-star combination. As you guys see here, I've played 5 games with him, all of them in the right striker position, in the 4-1-2-2, in division rivals, and I got 5 goals and 0 assists. Before I go any further, if you're enjoying the content, if you want more content like this, do me a big favor. Hit the like button down below. If you're new to the channel, as always, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all you guys at home for watching this video. So, when you look at this Bamba card, like I said, he looks like a very good card on paper. I mean, his special cards always seem to look very good on paper. But we're going to see how it unfolds in game. Of course, he has the pace maxed out on 99. There is absolutely no problems with that. Likewise with the dribbling stats. He has 95 dribbling with the 5-star skills. We're going to see quite how good that is in game. His shooting stats are very nice. 91 finishing, 94 attack positioning, 96 shot power here are the key stats. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have any shooting traits. Passing wise, he looks pretty solid as well. The lowest stat here is the 83 long passing and the 81 free kick accuracy. And the rest of the stats look very nice. Physical wise, he now has a boost. 74 strength and 77 aggression are respectable stats for a player like him. He also has 93 stamina, which means he should last all game. So without further ado, I'm gonna take you over to our review specialist in studios, One Star Weakfoot. Take it away. Thanks, One Star. So according to Footbin, this Bamba card is gonna be costing you 450k on the PS4 market. Is he worth it? I would have to say not quite, alright? I still think he feels a bit generic in game despite the increased stats, despite the fact he has the 5-star weak foot. But if he does drop to around 200 to 300k, I think that's a much better value. We're going to talk about it. Starting with the pace, he has 99 pace. And by Lord, or by George, is this guy quick. He is very quick as far as getting in behind the defense. He feels incredibly explosive coming out of the skill moves. I mean, he has pretty much maxed out stats. You don't really need to touch it with a chem style. And therefore, I have to give his pace a perfect 10 out of 10. I don't think it gets better than this. I mean, literally, he has maxed out stats. Next, we'll talk about shooting. And this is a part of the card I was very hopeful for. When you look at the stats on paper, they do look great. But in game, I would say his finish was solid, but nothing special. He didn't really have the clinical finishing that I expected out of a team of the season player. With 91 finishing, I did work my way to getting him from good angles, or getting him shots from good angles. And while he did finish everything he was supposed to finish, there were a few shots where I thought he could have done better. And his finishing does feel like, to me, it's more like in the mid 80s rather than the low 90s. He has 94 attack positioning, which was noticeable. I did really like the runs he made. He always got himself into dangerous positions. And I really enjoyed that aspect of the card. He has 96 shot power as well, which helps him with his shooting, but didn't really quite help enough because, like I said, he seems very generic shooting wise. He has a solid shot, nothing more, nothing less. And overall, I have to give this guy shooting an 8.5 out of 10. He'll finish the shots he should, but he's not going to score the half chances that you want out of a special player at this price range. Next, we'll talk about his passing, and the best word I could describe his passing with, once again, is solid. He has 94 vision, 92 short passing, 95 curve. So in and around the box, in tight areas, in cramped areas, he's going to be able to pick a pass out very well, and it does make him a good candidate to play the cam position. I do think if I could do it again, I would play him at the cam position rather than right striker. I think it suits his abilities much more. He has 83 long passing, which means that he can hit those through balls down the line. He can hit those driven passes across the field with a decent accuracy. Overall, this guy's passing is a 9 out of 10. Definitely good enough to play the cam position. Definitely good enough to qualify as a playmaker on your team. And if that's what you need, you might enjoy this card. Next, we'll talk about his dribbling. And I had absolutely no problems here. I really enjoyed how responsive, how quick, how light he felt on the ball. Even if you don't skill, I mean, the left stick dribbling alone with this card is enough to create shots, is enough to create opportunities, and that's what you want. His R1 and L1 dribbling was very nice because he kept the ball very close to his body, and he's a card that's very sticky. And what I've noticed is that I scored a lot of goals with him by virtue of his dribbling rather than his shooting. There were certain times where he would just cling on to second and third chances even when he was being dispossessed or played good defense against in the box. He would get the ball again and get a more clear-cut opportunity and then finish the shot. I scored a lot of scrappy goals with him. A lot of that's because of his composure and his dribbling overall. And I have to give it a 9.5 out of 10. This is the one part of the card besides the pace I think did not disappoint, and I really enjoyed it. Finally, we'll be talking about the physical on this card, and strangely enough, I did find them to be weaker than the stats suggested. I know 74 strength and 77 aggression is not something that's amazing at this stage of the game, but for a winger with high balance and agility, I didn't expect him to get bullied as often as he did, but unfortunately he did. He has 93 stamina, which means he lasts all game, and his jumping is surprisingly decent. Overall, this guy's physical is a 7 out of 10. Alright guys, so what's the final verdict on this card? I think he's actually a pretty good card on this game. There's nothing really wrong with him, but he's a generic winger when Team of the Season comes out. I mean, compare him to players like Coleman, compare him to Carrasco, Vasquez. I mean, you'll find that they're a dime a dozen at this stage of the game. So I don't really feel like he necessitates such a high price tag. If he was around 200, 300K, I really would suggest it more often. But at this stage of the game, I have to give him an 8.5 out of 10. He's a good card. He's not going to let you down. He could be a part of a really good team. But if he's your main attacker, you're going to find him to be quite generic. Alright guys, so that's going to be my Bamba review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I will catch you in the next episode. But until then.